There are several videos already about how to remove the Saab 9.3 window winder system. That's not what I'm doing here. I'm going to make a video about why we have to remove it, why it fails, and how to fix it. So the problem, a lot of times the window winding system will fail because of these wheels where the cable system is running on. It's a bit of a flimsy system, and it fails by these wheels breaking down a lot of the time, so they have to be replaced. So what you do is you have to start with removing the system. I'll leave that for you to look at the other videos. They show that quite clearly. Once you've got it out, which I've got here, I've got it sitting on my bench, then you have to figure out how to fix it. So this is what happens. The wheel that the cable system runs on disintegrates, breaks, and you have to replace it. In this case, it was the wheel here that failed, and I had to replace it. So you start with taking it out, and then taking the broken wheel out. Taking the broken wheel out is not that simple. They are stamped. Here you can see it. They're stamped into the frame or the metal chassis of the window winding system. So what I started with is, once the wheel is disintegrated, you take the wheel off, and then you've got some space around to play with. And so I chiseled away, used a hacksaw, and just cut it away until I got that bolt out. Once I've got that out, I could replace the wheel. I did some mock-ups myself with a nylon coaster wheel that I changed and grinded into what it needed to be, but in the end that wasn't strong enough, and it was. So I went to a shop and I had all the dimensions and I had it made. That's this one, which is pretty good, exactly the right size. So then I could put that back into place. And get it and get the nut back into its place. What you see here is some metal glue, because obviously it was, like I said, it was stamped into place. I couldn't do that anymore. I haven't got those tools, so I used some metal glue to get it back into place. And now the system is working again. It can be tricky as well to get it properly winded back onto this wheel where the motor sits. The motor is sitting here. I took that out for now. That will go back in this spot, but you take it off so you can get the cable onto that wheel again properly. Sometimes the cable is also busted because it's because the system fell apart, and then the cable jams up and you have to replace the cable. I've used bicycle brake cables if I needed to, but in this case I could save this cable, so that was alright. So then you can put it all back together. And then another thing that fails quite often is these white brackets where the clamps for the windows sit onto. They break. As you can see here, there's the crack, and the same on the other side. So what I do with that is, that one's stuck. I put screws in. You need to keep the bits and pieces, and then I put screws in on an angle so it doesn't get in the way of the metal bracket that holds the window. And then I'll put fiberglass around it to strengthen the whole thing. Put fiberglass in there, and then all the way around, so it's nice and strong again. But this is back the way it needs to be, because you can see this one as well. See if I can get that in focus. No, come on. No. Well, you can just make out the crack there. That goes all the way along, but the screws fix that. This is a very common problem with the Saab 9.3. So that's how you fix it. And once it's back together, then you can put it all back in the car, obviously. But again, I still need to do some fiberglassing all around it, so it's strengthened. Make sure that the screws don't run on the metal edge. These screws don't run on this metal edge, because then the motor will think, oh, too much resistance, and stop winding up or winding down. So you need to make sure that you put those screws on an angle and away from the metal top. So this one's just about done, apart from the fiberglassing. As you can see also, the way to put this back together is you put the cable on the top level of these wheels. The two green ones stay intact. I've seen other ones and they always seem to stay intact. It seems to be the red ones that fail. And this is an easy way to get the cable on, and then as you pull this up and down, the wheel itself will push onto the outer layer of the wheel, and the cable is back into its original spot. And that's how you fix the Saab 9.3 window winding system. Thanks.